Drug abuse during brain development. Adolescent brain development is a process that continues into the early 20s. Drug abuse during this time can have lasting negative consequences on the brain. The widespread use of drugs during brain development has many grave consequences for children and adolescents, including learning disabilities, behavior disorders, memory loss, inability to think rationally or control impulses, reduced academic performance or poor school attendance, impaired decision-making skills that are affected by emotions rather than logic, decreased ability to succeed in school. Young people are particularly vulnerable to substance abuse because normal brain development continues until late adolescence, usually until age 25 or 30 years. Children and adolescents are at risk for drug abuse because their brains are not fully developed. Effects of drug abuse during brain development. The abuse of alcohol, tobacco, or illicit drugs can have a significant influence on the physical and mental development of children. These changes are not limited to the duration that substances are used because early substance use has been shown to affect IQ, attention, academic achievement, social skills, and the ability to control emotions. Drugs are substances that change the way the brain works by altering the strength of communication between nerve cells. These drugs have many harmful effects on children's developing brains. The use of alcohol or tobacco in childhood can be particularly damaging to some brain areas that are not fully developed until age 25 or later. How to limit a teen's exposure to drugs. Talk with your children from an early age about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. You can also use a book to show examples of drug abuse in a person's life, such as arrest records, lost jobs, failed relationships, or illnesses caused by drug use. Early drug use can also lead to the development of a substance use disorder or addiction later in life. Make your home a safe place for communication. If your child is looking to talk about something, make them feel comfortable doing it with you. Don't be afraid to ask questions like, "Is there something wrong?" Or, "Why do I sense something is bothering you?" Teens may respond better to questions than orders. Be aware of your child's activities. Know who they are hanging out with and how they spend their time outside of school. If you have a nagging feeling that something is off, it probably is. Trust your gut instinct, because it could save your child's life. If you suspect your child is using drugs, sit down and talk with them about it. Don't threaten or interrogate. Ask them questions like, "Why do you think people use drugs?" Or, "What are your reasons for doing it?" How to know if someone is using drugs. If you find small baggies, burners, needles, small pipes, or rolled up dollar bills at your teen's place, you can pretty much assume they are using drugs. If someone is secretive about what they do or where they go, this could also mean that person is using drugs. In summary, drug abuse during brain development can lead to various health problems later in life if people continue to use drugs as they age. These include damaged brains, physical dependence, addiction, severe withdrawal symptoms that can be potentially fatal, and death. Many factors influence drug use, including genetics and the environment in which an individual lives. An intervention helps the individual accept treatment for their addiction or substance abuse problem. Counseling and therapy can also help with drug addiction, along with medication and group counseling. If someone you love is struggling with drug abuse, don't wait to offer help. Drug use during brain development is a serious business and can greatly affect the life of the user. If your child is using drugs, it's important to remain calm, provide loving support, make them feel comfortable talking with you about what they are going through, and most importantly, help them get the rehabilitation services they need.